Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Today we're doing a very cute and quick project again. These are great for gifts, they're great for yourself. People who love to read will adore these, and they're super easy to make. Just before we begin, remember that if you want to make these in different sizes you can, and also this one here I starched, so it's nice and stiff and that's nice and firm, so that will help keep your pages from bending and it'll be a little bit easier. This is just a nice soft one which you can use as well. They're nice and delicate looking and very pretty. So these are bookmarks, corner bookmarks. They're very easy to slip on and they prevent dog ears. So this one is a little bit bigger. It's on the bigger end, but of course you can make them smaller. You just take, whatever page you're on, but take a few pages just to make it easier, and you just slip that on just like that, and you have a little bookmark, and obviously you can make it fit a little bit nicer and neater, but yeah, that's all it is. It's a little bit different project and a little bit different than a regular bookmark. So to begin as well, use whatever yarn you think is appropriate. I am using, again, Egyptian cotton because I love it. But yes, just use whatever. I also used the same 4mm hook for both of these, but because the yarns are a little bit different, they ended up being different sizes. But I also blocked this one, so to make it a little bit more firm and larger and to give it some shape. And you can do that with all of yours as well. Just soak it in some water, and then if you know how to starch, whatever way you like to starch it, either with Elmer glue and water, a mixture of that, and sort of douse it, or you can use sugar and water as well. So whatever works for you. So to begin, take our yarn, and it's so simple. Once you get the hang of it, this is going to take you 10-20 minutes tops. So to start, just start with your regular loop, and then chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you're going to count 6 chains from your hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And into the 6th chain, you're going to do a double crochet. And then you should have 2 chains left. So into the next one, you do another double crochet. And then before we do the last one, we're going to do a picot. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and into this bottom of the base where you started your chains, your chain 3, you go into both of those, just like that, and slip stitch. So you get a little knob here. And then do a double crochet into the last chain. So it's going to look a little bit weird and wonky for now. Now we're going on to the second row already. So from this part on, when you're starting a new row, you chain 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now don't turn your work or anything yet. So this little start that you began with, you just leave it so it's on the bottom. Now again, go into the 6th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and do a double crochet. And then into the next chain, a double crochet. And then you do a picot again. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, go into the base and do a slip stitch. And then into the next chain, you do a double crochet. That will leave 2 chains left, which is fine. So now what we're going to do is take this previous little thing that we did and flip it over. So just flip it up like this, so that this loop on the bottom is at the top without moving your hook on this end. So just do this. Now into this space here, this chain space, you slip stitch. Okay, so it's going to look kind of crazy for now, but don't worry. We're building the shape. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then double crochet into this same space here. Okay, then double crochet again. Do a picot. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, go into the base and do a slip stitch. And then do one more double crochet. So it doesn't look like it, but you've actually done 3 of these little lace pattern things here. So you've done this one and these 2. So we're going on to row 3. So to start each row, like I said, chain 10. Okay, now do a double crochet into the 6th chain from the hook. Into the next chain, do a double crochet. Do a picot, 1, 2, 3. And then one more double crochet into the next chain space. Okay, now this is where we take our work and flip it. And so we slip stitch into this chain space here. Now chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, double crochet, double crochet again, do a picot, and then end. Oh, I just let it slip off. Okay, and then do one more double crochet. Okay, then you're going to jump over to this space, this chain space here, and do a slip stitch. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, double crochet into that space, double crochet again, do a picot, and then double crochet to that space. So you've just created 3 of these little lace things as well. So now the next one will have 4. So to do that, chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Double crochet into the 6th chain from the hook. Double crochet again to the next chain. Do your picot. And then double crochet into the next chain. Okay. Now this is where we always turn our work, so we flip it up. Just like that. And then you'll see all these spaces. So slip stitch into the chain space here, and then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, double crochet, double crochet again, picot, and a double crochet. Okay, and then slip stitch into the next gap here where you have the chain space. So I'm going to leave you to this until you have 6 of these fancy little lace shells across. And once you have that, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows you'll have by the end of this one. So do a 5th one and then a 6th one, and then I'll meet you back. Hey, welcome back. You should have finished your 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll look something like this. Not quite done, but if you're gonna block it, once you block it, it'll look really cool because you'll have these cute little picots pointing either that way or that way. Okay, so we're just going to finish off with the little frill or fringe at the top or bottom, whatever way you're looking at it. And to do that, you chain 3. Okay, now you can turn your work, and then you're going to slip stitch into the chain space, the big chain space you have here. Now you're going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And just before the picot, there is the connection that you have here between this chain space and the picot. So you do a slip stitch into that space. And then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you slip stitch into the chain space that you created in the previous round. Then chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to drop back down to the base of that chain space, and in between that and your picot, and you're going to do a slip stitch. So that is basically that pattern. So it's chain 3, 2, 3, and then slip stitch into the gap that you have, the chain space, and then chain 3, and then slip stitch into the base between the chain space and the picot. So you do that all the way across, and then I'll meet you back when you're done that. Okay, once you have that, you'll have done a slip stitch into this last chain. So make sure that you chain 3 more, 1, 2, 3, and go into the base of that chain, the chain space you have here, this hoop, and that will give you kind of a cleaner and more triangular shape on the corner. So just go into the first chain of that if you need to. Okay, so for the last little bit where we get the frill, we chain 1, turn your work, and into that first chain 3 space here, do chain 1, or sorry, single crochet, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and into that same space you do a single crochet. Okay, now jump over to the next chain 3, do a single crochet, chain 3, and into that same space you do another single crochet, and then jump over to the next one. So you might have to pull it up or whatever just to see some of these chain 3 spaces that might look invisible or hidden. So single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet into the same space, jump over to the next one, do the same thing all the way across. So it's single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, and then jump over to the next one, and you keep doing that and you'll get a little frilly thing, pretty little frill on the top. So just continue with that and then I'll meet you at the very end. Okay, we're all done this. See how easy that was? The reason why I had you learn this pattern is not to make it more difficult or whatever. It was basically just to expand your what is it, your vocabulary, your crochet vocabulary, and you've learned a new stitch so that you can actually, if you want, turn this into a shawl. So you've learned something that you can basically use for other projects. So you're going to need 2 of these. So I'm going to let you pause the video, make another one of these. So you just fasten this off, do another one exactly like this, and then I'll meet you up just to at the end just to show you how to connect these 2, and then you're pretty much done. Okay, after you have done 2 of these, you just put them together. You can put the wrong sides of them facing inward if you want, if you know the difference, but either way I don't think it's really going to matter. It's just preference, really. So put them together. Now to stitch them together is really simple as well. So you just you create a slip knot, and then you go into the corners here, so not the point at the very end, go into the top here. You can kind of eyeball it to get through both of those to create your border, and then just put that into place like that. So then all the way across you're going to do 14 stitches. So if you kind of eyeball it, you'll see here that there's spaces in between, and spaces in between. So just count all the way. It's 1 stitch into each of these gaps, but then there's some double crochets on the sides here. So just go through and do 14 all the way across till you get to the bottom, and then I'll meet you back there just to show you how to turn your work and make a nice pointy corner. Okay, so you've done a row of single crochet, that's 14. When you reach the bottom into the corner or the point at the bottom, do a single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet into that same edge piece there, and then go across on the other side and do another 14, and then go back across and do another row of single crochet just to give it a more refined look, and then you're done. So I'll meet you when you're all done. Okay, everybody, you should be done now. Just one more thing, just remember at the corner to do a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet on your second round of the edge, and boom, you're done. You have made little unique corner bookmarks for yourselves and for other people. These are great little gifts just to show that you care for other people and you care about how they look after their books. So yeah, that's it for today. Make sure to take time out for yourself. Be well, be safe. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.